Life after 80, the raw, unspoken truths that will change how you see your later years. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a new decade, your 80s. The world around you hums with the same energy it always has, but something inside feels different. The mornings are slower, the phone quieter, the mirror reflecting a face etched with stories no one seems to ask about anymore. Nobody warns you about life after 80, not really. Not about the subtle, soul-shaking shifts that creep in like a fog, leaving you wondering, why didn't anyone tell me it would feel like this? It's not just about gray hair or aching joints. It's the deeper, unspoken changes that can catch you off guard. Loneliness that lingers like an uninvited guest. A body that betrays you in ways you never expected. A world that sometimes forgets you're still here. But here's the truth. These challenges don't have to define you. They can refine you. Today, we're diving into 5 brutal realities of life after 80, not to scare you, but to arm you with clarity and courage. These aren't just observations. They're hard, won insights from real people, backed by science, and laced with hope. From the shrinking of your social world to the quiet ache of regret, we'll unpack each reality with raw honesty, practical strategies, and stories that will make you nod, cry, or even laugh. Stick with us to the end, because while these truths may sting, they also unlock a path to resilience, purpose, and a dignity that's yours to define. Let's face life after 80 with open eyes, steady hands, and a heart ready to keep writing your story. Number 1. Your social circle shrinks, and the silence cuts deep. You've spent decades building a life rich with connection. Friends who shared your laughter over coffee. Neighbors who knew your kids' names. Family who filled your home with chaos and love. But after 80, something shifts. The people who once anchored your world start to fade, not because they stop caring, but because time takes them away. Friends pass on. Siblings grow frail. Even your kids, now juggling their own lives, call less often. According to a 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging, 34% of Americans over 80 report feeling socially isolated, and that number spikes to 50% by age 85. It's not just a statistics, it's a quiet, creeping reality that can leave you feeling like the world is moving on without you. The pain isn't always dramatic. It's not always tears or heartbreak. Sometimes, it's just silence. The phone that used to ring with weekend plans now sits quiet. The mailbox, once stuffed with birthday cards, holds only bills. You might find yourself staring out the window, wondering when your days got so empty. Take Ellen, 82, from Michigan. For years, she was the heart of her book club, hosting lively discussions in her cozy living room. But over time, her group dwindled. One friend moved to be closer to her daughter. Another passed away. A third stopped coming due to mobility issues. I didn't realize how much I relied on those evenings, Ellen said, her voice soft. Now, I read alone, and it's not the same. This loneliness isn't just emotional, it's a health risk. A 2024 study from the University of Chicago found that chronic social isolation in older adults increases the risk of depression by 25% and cognitive decline by 20%. The science is clear. Humans are wired for connection, no matter their age. But after 80, connection doesn't come knocking like it used to. You have to chase it, and that takes courage. How to fight back? Don't wait for the world to come to you, go to it. Start small. Join a local senior center or a knitting group. Volunteer at a library or a community garden. Even a weekly phone call to an old friend can spark joy. Ellen, for example, started a virtual book club via Zoom, inviting old friends and new ones from her church. It's not the same as before, she admitted, but hearing their voices again. It's like coming home. Research backs this up. A 2023 study from AARP showed that seniors who engage in just one meaningful social activity a week report a 15% boost in life satisfaction. Your action plan. Reach out first. Call a friend or family member today. Don't wait for them to call you. Find your tribe. Look for local groups, think community centers, churches, or even online forums. Websites like meetup.com can connect you with people who share your interests. Embrace technology. Learn to use FaceTime or Zoom. A 2024 Pew Research study found that 60% of seniors who use video calls feel more connected to loved ones. You've built a life full of love before. You can do it again. The silence doesn't have to win. Drop a 1 in the comments if you felt this quiet shift in your social world. How are you fighting back? Number 2. Your body betrays you, and recovery feels like a distant memory. Let's not sugarcoat it. Your body at 80 isn't the same as it was at 60 or even 70. That pulled muscle that used to heal in a week now lingers for a month. That cold you brushed off in your 50s now saps your energy for days. According to the CDC, 63% of adults over 80 live with at least 2 chronic conditions like arthritis, diabetes, or heart disease that make recovery slower and more complicated. A minor fall, which might have been a bruise in your 40s, can now lead to a 6 to 8 week recovery per a 2024 report from the National Institute of Health. What hits hardest isn't just the pain, it's the unpredictability. One morning you're tending your garden. By evening, you're in a doctor's office, hearing words like imaging or specialist. Small setbacks become big disruptions. Take Henry, 81, from Colorado. A lifelong hiker, he prided himself on scaling local trails well into his 70s. But after a minor knee injury while stepping off a curb, everything changed. "I thought I'd be back on the trails in a couple of weeks," he said, "but 6 months later, I'm still using a cane. My body didn't just slow down, it changed the rules." This shift isn't just physical, it's emotional. You start second-guessing your strength. You hesitate before climbing stairs or carrying groceries. And the scariest part? The bounce back you took for granted in your younger years is gone. A 2023 study from Johns Hopkins found that after age 80, even minor health events like a sprain or infection can lead to a 30% reduction in functional ability if not addressed promptly. Your body isn't just aging, it's rewriting your limits. But here's the hope. You can adapt. You can thrive. Honoring your body's new reality doesn't mean giving up, it means getting strategic. Henry, for instance, started physical therapy and joined a senior yoga class. "I can't hike like I used to," he said, "but I can still move, and that feels like a victory." Research supports this. A 2024 study from the Mayo Clinic found that seniors who engage in low-impact exercise like Tai Chi or swimming reduce their fall risk by 40% and improve mobility by 25%. Your action plan. Pace yourself. Break tasks into smaller chunks. Carry 1 bag of groceries at a time instead of 3. Prioritize movement. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes of gentle exercise daily. Think walking or chair yoga. The American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of moderate activity per week for seniors. Invest in safety. Install grab bars or use a walker if needed. A 2023 study from the CDC showed that home modifications reduce fall-related injuries by 35%. Your body may not bounce back, but it can still carry you forward. Treat it like the loyal partner it's been for 80 years. Give it respect, and it'll keep showing up for you. Comment 2 below if your body's thrown you a curveball lately. What's one way you're adapting? Number 3. Needing help feels like defeat, but it's actually strength. You've always been the strong one. The one who fixed the leaky sink, drove the kids to soccer practice, or carried the family through tough times. But after 80, the truth hits. Some things you used to do without thinking now require a helping hand. Reaching for the top shelf, driving at night, even getting out of a low chair. The National Council on Aging reports that 70% of adults over 80 need assistance with at least one daily activity, like shopping or bathing. And for many, that need feels like a punch to the pride. This isn't just about physical limits, it's about the emotional weight. Asking for help can feel like admitting defeat. You might skip a trip to the store to avoid asking for a ride. Or hide a stumble because you don't want to bother anyone. Take Sarah, 85, from Virginia. She'd spent decades running her own bakery, priding herself on doing everything herself. But after struggling to lift heavy pots, she reluctantly let her grandson help with chores. "I felt like I was losing myself," she said, "but then I realized he wasn't taking over. He was helping me stay me." The science backs this up. A 2024 study from Harvard found that seniors who accept help, whether from family or tools like grab bars, maintain independence longer and report a 20% lower rate of depression. Accepting help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's choosing safety over pride, connection over isolation. How to embrace it. Reframe help as a tool, not a loss. Sarah, for example, started using a stool in the kitchen and let her grandson carry heavy loads. "It's not about giving up," she said. "It's about staying in the game." Small supports like a walker, a meal delivery service, or a neighbor's help preserve your energy for what matters most. Your action plan. Start small. Identify one task that's harder now, like vacuuming or climbing stairs. Ask for help or get a tool to make it easier. Communicate openly. Tell loved ones what you need. A 2023 AARP survey found that 80% of family members want to help but don't know how unless asked. Invest in aids. Consider a cane, a shower chair, or a smart home device. These don't diminish you, they empower you. Saying "I could use a hand" takes more courage than doing it alone. You're not losing independence, you're redefining it. Drop a 3 in the comments if you've struggled with asking for help. What's one step you're ready to take? Number 4. The world stops seeing you, and it stings more than you expect. Here's a truth that cuts deep. After 80, the world starts to look past you. The cashier rushes you through. The doctor speaks to your daughter instead of you. The barista assumes you can't hear the menu. A 2022 AARP survey found that 65% of adults over 80 feel overlooked in public spaces, and that invisibility can erode your sense of self. It's not always intentional, just a fast-paced world that forgets the power of slow steps and silver hair. This isn't about vanity, it's about identity. You've lived a life of impact-raised families, built careers, weathered storms. Yet suddenly, you're just the old person in the room. Take James, 86, from Oregon. A retired teacher, he used to command a classroom, but at a recent community event, a volunteer asked his son about his needs instead of asking him directly. "I'm still here," James said, frustration in his voice. "I've got opinions, stories, a voice. Why don't they see me?" The sting of invisibility can make you shrink not because you've lost your spark, but because others stop noticing it. But here's the power. You don't have to fade. A 2023 Stanford study found that seniors who actively engage in their communities through volunteering, voting, or even storytelling feel 30% more valued and report higher life satisfaction. Your presence still matters. You just have to claim it. How to stay visible. Speak up, even when it's hard. Share your stories with your grandkids. Correct the waiter who overlooks you. Volunteer at a local school or museum. James, for instance, started teaching history lessons at a community center. "The kids listen," he said, grinning. "And I'm not just a teacher again, I'm a storyteller." Your action plan. Claim your space. Next time you're overlooked, politely assert yourself. Say, "I'd like to answer that," or "I'm happy to share my thoughts." Share your wisdom. Join a storytelling group or write a memoir. Your experiences are a treasure, pass them on. Stay active. Volunteer or attend local events. A 2024 study from the University of Michigan found that community involvement boosts self-esteem in seniors by 25%. You're not invisible. You're a living library, a witness to time. Keep showing up and the world will have to see you. Comment 4 below if you've ever felt overlooked. How do you remind the world you're still here? Number 5. Regret creeps in, unless you rewrite your purpose. After 80, life slows down. The calendar empties. The house grows quiet. And in that stillness, reflection creeps in. The what-ifs start whispering. What if I'd taken that job? Spent more time with my kids? Said I'm sorry? A 2024 study from the University of Michigan found that 50% of adults over 80 experience regret, often tied to missed opportunities or unresolved relationships. It's not loud regret, it's the quiet kind that settles in when you have too much time and too little purpose. This isn't just about looking back, it's about feeling lost in the present. You've spent decades working, raising families, chasing goals. But when those roles fade, you might wonder, what now? Take Maria, 88, from Florida. A retired nurse, she felt adrift after leaving her career. "I used to save lives," she said. "Now, I just watch the days pass." That hollowness isn't inevitable, it's a sign you need to redefine purpose. Purpose doesn't retire, it evolves. You may not climb mountains anymore, but you can lift someone's spirits with a kind word. You may not lead a company, but you can lead a conversation that changes someone's day. Maria started volunteering at a local clinic, sharing her nursing stories with young staff. "I'm not saving lives anymore," she said, "but I'm helping others save them. That's enough." How to redefine purpose. Focus on presence, not productivity. A 2023 study from Yale found that seniors who engage in meaningful activities like mentoring or small acts of kindness report a 20% reduction in feelings of regret. Purpose can be as simple as a phone call, a smile, or a handwritten note. Your action plan. Find one small act. Do something meaningful today. Call a grandchild, help a neighbor, or write a letter. Reflect with kindness. Instead of dwelling on regrets, list 3 things you're proud of. Share them with someone you love. Stay curious. Try a new hobby or revisit an old one. A 2024 study from the National Institute on Aging found that creative activities like painting or writing boost mental health in seniors by 15%. Regret only wins if you let it. Rewrite your purpose, and every day becomes a chance to shine. Drop a 5 in the comments if you felt the weight of regret. What's one way you're finding new purpose? Final thoughts. Your 80s are your story's deepest chapter. Reaching 80 isn't just a milestone, it's a monument to your resilience, your love, your grit. But it comes with truths that hit hard, social circles that fade, a body that slows, the need for help, the sting of being overlooked, and the quiet ache of regret. Facing these doesn't make you weak, it makes you real, and in that reality lies your power. You get to choose how this chapter unfolds. Will you reach out to reconnect even when it's hard? Honor your body with grace and intention? Ask for help with courage? Speak up when the world forgets you? Redefine purpose with small, meaningful acts? This isn't the end, it's the deepest, richest part of your story, where every moment carries weight, every gesture matters, and every day is a chance to shine. Let's talk. Which of these 5 truths hit you hardest? Drop a comment with the number 1 to 5 and share your story. How are you navigating life after 80, or how are you preparing for it? Your wisdom inspires others, so don't hold back. If this moved you, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep these conversations alive. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's keep showing up for life together. You're still here, you're still powerful, and your story's far from over.